Welcome to Pealed, Daniel Breaker.
Thank you, thank you. This is swanky.
It is swanky, and it's extra swanky today, not just because you're here, but because next to you we have this whole setup we don't usually have. I understand you're going to be doing a little cooking demo for us later.
Yes, yeah, I like to cook.
You don't just like to cook. You're like a professional level chef, and we're going to get to that.
All right.
But first we're going to talk about a little show called Hamilton. Maybe you've heard of it. Only the biggest theatrical experience in the world right now. And you're part of it.
Yeah, yeah.
How does it feel?
It's a thrill. I mean, I have moments where I forget that I'm a part of like one of the most extraordinary hits that has come through Broadway, and just like it's an extraordinary piece of art. It's not just confined to Broadway, but it's like it's in our pop culture now. It is everywhere.
Yeah. How sick are you of the room where it happened references?
Oh no, I'm not sick of it. I do get a lot of "Pardon me, are you Aaron Burrs?" Those have like they've really worn themselves out.
Yeah, and what do you say?
I say
no. I'm Daniel Breaker.
Yes, leave me alone. I'm trying to get on the train.
You played Aaron Burr first in Chicago with the cast there, and then moved over a couple of months ago to Broadway.
Yes, correct.
I'm curious about how different it was in Chicago versus here. I know the theater there is a lot bigger. I imagine the acoustics are different. Are there any other differences?
Yeah, also, the audiences are different. I mean, like the type of audience you get in Chicago is going to be different than what you get in New York, which is going to be different than what you get in London or LA. And also what's great about this show is that the playing of it is always sort of fresh and new and different every night. So it's a living, breathing thing. I mean, that's what's so great about live theater, is that it can be something new at any given moment.
Yeah, and there's so many layers to this. I mean, you can just listen to the album and hear things that you've never heard, whether it's your first time, your 1,000th time.
Yeah, exactly. And even watching the show the other day, I was off stage and I caught myself just watching the dance, and it was magnificent. I mean, like the show tells a story in so many different ways, be it the lyrics, be it the singing, the acting, the movement, the costumes, the lighting. It really is. It's a great piece of work.
Well, I'm lucky enough to have interviewed several of the cast members. You're my first Burr that I've interviewed, and I went to the show last night specifically to watch you, and I didn't take my eyes off of Burr for the entire time that you were on stage, and I learned so much by keeping my eyes on you. Specifically, in Act 2, Burr is lurking.
Ooh, yeah.
He is in the shadows, and there's so much going on in the foreground, and you're just standing there smoldering.
Yeah, just watching, he's creepy. Just watching things, just watching this world sort of like fall apart.
What I think of it as is that he's like an ember, and he's glowing and smoldering. And then all of a sudden, Hamilton endorses Jefferson over Burr, and he bursts into flame. Bursts into flame?
Oof.
Sorry, I heard it come out of my mouth.
We'll see. All right.
But just like any fire that gets out of control, more damage can be done than is expected.
Yes.
And you're that flame.
Yeah, and that is the journey of Burr, is that he decides to make these decisions that he thinks these are the right way. This is the right way to go, and then ultimately it backfires.
I want to compliment you on bringing yourself to this part, or I should say, not just doing an imitation of the original performance, which I also was lucky enough to see. I feel like you have a sort of swing in your delivery, whereas Leslie Odom Jr. did it more of like a rap. I feel like you're doing more of like a song with the lyrics.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that's extraordinary about the creative team on this show is that they really encourage the individual and the individual taking on that role. So at no point did they ask me to try to do what someone has done before, which is really, it's quite freeing to be able to do something like that. And it's, I think my Burr has a little more, he's got a little more sort of like wit and charm and mischief in him that eventually like sort of comes to a crumble.
I also feel like he has sort of an inherent eye roll underlying a lot of his lines, like this guy again.
This dude.
Hamilton, jeez.
I'm gonna shoot him later.
I spent the last week or so immersing myself in your work, and I'm lucky in that 2 of your previous big projects are available for the public to still watch. Shrek the Musical was released on DVD, and Passing Strange, for which you were nominated for a Tony, was also televised in a Spike Lee directed version. And so I had access to both of those, and I watched them. And as I was watching you perform as Burr last night, and you went, talk less, smile more, I was like, why didn't somebody say that to Donkey?
Yes. He didn't take that. A donkey wouldn't have taken that note anyway, though. He would have been like, just...
I mean, he didn't need to smile more. He needed to talk less and smile less. And just
calm down. Just sit down.
Yeah, exactly. But man, your range as an actor is so vast.
Oh, thank you.
And I can tell that you were classically trained.
Yes.
You didn't think musical theater was it for you, did you?
No, musical theater was not anywhere on my radar. It really wasn't. When I got out of Juilliard, I really thought I was going to go be doing just straight plays, mostly Shakespeare, classical text. That's where my heart still lives. So I didn't expect that to happen. Passing Strange came my way, and that was a magnificent musical that was telling a story that was very close to my heart, being an army brat, having grown up in Europe. And then Shrek came my way, and it just seems like musicals were flowing towards me. But what's interesting about Hamilton is that it feels like my training and my love of musical theater has sort of come together, because it really feels, Burr he's Iago. I mean, he really is it is a Shakespeare role to a certain extent.
Well, and Oscar Eustis at the Public Theater says that Lynn is the closest thing to Shakespeare that we have had.
Yes,
in
with
hundred years.
with a touch of the Mozart.
Yeah, and all those rap superstars that we've
Yeah.
seen since. And we cannot forget one of my favorite things you've ever done, a play that ran 7 full performances on Broadway, 2 of which I saw, called The Performers, where this Shakespeare-trained classical actor was playing in a play about the pornography industry.
Yeah, a good Thanksgiving treat on Broadway.
And it was a dirty play. It
was the show that time forgot. You were the only person that still recalls that.
I love that show so much that despite the subject matter, I brought my mother to see it.
Ooh.
And she really liked it too.
Okay.
It was a great play. It is a great play, and I have a T-shirt. And I wear it so proudly.
It was a great play. It was a lot of fun. It was unfortunate that it only lasted, 7 shows, and that cast was great. Cheyenne Jackson was great. Henry Winkler, my childhood crush, Alicia Silverstone,
who we got to play your wife.
Oh my God, yeah, it was a dream.
Yeah. I like to take the opportunity every time I can to say that Ari Grainer got robbed. If the show had run 8 performances, it would have been eligible for Tonys, but because of Hurricane Sandy, it was closed after 7. Oops, but on to bigger and better things.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get bigger or better than Hamilton. However, I feel like Hamilton is sort of your day job, and it's keeping you employed so that you can explore your real creative passion.
That's a pretty good day job.
Creative passion.
Yes, my other creative,
which is cooking.
It is the cooking.
If you follow Daniel on Instagram, you would never know that he's the star of a Broadway show, because it's just... I don't want to say just. It is full of...
It's just food.
Plated... I just didn't want to diminish it. Like, it's gorgeous. It looks like an art account. It looks like a Top Chef, master chef. The way you plate things, it looks like they could be hanging in the Modern Art Museum.
Wonderful.
Thank you. I got to talk to a bunch of your castmates and former castmates and people who actually work in the theater and house management and stuff, and I asked them all what their favorite thing was that you cook, and hands down the answer was shrimp and grits.
Oh, the shrimp and grits. Yes, I did a brunch.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. Come on.
Well, you gave me a hard time for whatever it was I said.
Well, you lowered the bar, so I was gonna just like
lowered the burr.
The burr.
Oh,
okay. We'll clean it up in post.
We're live, baby. We're live.
We're so live. So I did a brunch, and they really enjoyed that. But I like to cook for my casts. When I was on Book of Mormon for 3 years, and I cooked quite a bit over there. They are a little heartbroken right now, the cast of Book of Mormon, because I'm no longer making like tea brine fried chicken and lobster rolls and Thai iced teas. So they're, but that's life.
Well, you're running a coffee shop out of your dressing room.
Yes, Burr's Beans is now open. It is the best coffee in Midtown.
Unfortunately, not open to the public.
Yes, sorry.
And you're also making duck confit, and you're making oysters with wine cubes.
Yes,
and you can see all of this on the Instagram.
Always cooking.
What I want to know is, aside from the brunch, as you may have guessed, I am a fan of puns and how much Hamilton punnery is going into your recipes. I mean, obviously, ham is an easy one.
Oh my gosh, I haven't really thought about that.
I was thinking you could do something with mushrooms, like the shroom where it happened.
Yeah.
There's.
The shroom where. Oh my gosh, I really haven't even thought of these. This is very nice. I need to. I was just thinking about like my where I grind my beans on a Burr grinder. That was the only thing that's a grinder, but.
I think we need to go into Twitter and start like a hashtag game where we get people to contribute Hamilton food puns.
Okay,
and then you will hopefully choose a couple of them and create them.
Oh, okay. All right. Make a pun and then I'll make a meal out of it. Okay, that's great. Let's do that.
All right, we'll launch that this afternoon.
Let's start that right now.
Okay, yeah, start it. I wish we had a good hashtag picked out. I should have prepped that better. In any case, speaking of prep, we are going to soon turn it over to the cooking. Mm-hmm. Do you want to tell us what you're going to make?
Sure. I mean,
or do you want
to make some things? Well, it's like I'm making like a little bite. Like it's just a little thing that you can make at home, or I'm doing sort of a fancy version of it. But all these flavors really work together.
Would you call it an amuse-bouche?
I would call it an amuse-bouche. I just said it, amuse-bouche. and it's like there's some blue cheese. There's a pear that's poached in dessert wine. It's very sort of classy and decadent, but it's but really good.
I cannot wait to try it. I hope that you're going to take us step by step so people can recreate it at home.
Yeah, sure.
Is it your dream to have a cooking show?
I would love some version of a cooking show. It would be a lot of fun, but something that maybe specifically is food and music. Something about like different cultures globally, and what people are eating and what people are listening to. Like that would be a lot of fun. And also one day a restaurant. I mean, I'd love to have a restaurant. It's expensive and you go crazy doing it, but one day I would like to.
That's what the Hamilton money is for.
Yeah, I'll sit on this Hamilton thing and I'll open a restaurant.
Would you ever do the reality TV show route? Master Chef or
Maybe.
Top Chef? I guess Top Chef is people who are already working in restaurants.
But I don't watch a lot of those. I have to watch those. I struggle with food as a competition. I think food food is something that we are everybody in this room right now is fortunate enough to be able to like have options on what to eat right now. And so I love food as a celebration of the thing and the variety that it has and so I don't naturally lean towards the idea of a food competition show, but I could be convinced. Mm-hmm.
I feel like you'd be perfect for a show like that.
Yeah.
By day, he's on stage in the biggest musical in the world. By night.
I mean, I do have a cooler in my dressing room that I usually pick up like seafood or something. I take it to work, I do the show, and then I go home and I cook. So it's everywhere. The food is everywhere in my life.
Do you go out to eat at all? And if so, what do you choose?
Everywhere. I'm going to Alta right now. It's right around the block. I shouldn't have told that.
Well, I mean, we are live.
I'm not going to Alta. Don't follow me. I eat everywhere. I eat at Del Posto. I eat at Morea, which is a great sort of seafood spot. I eat everywhere.
Do you have any food guilty pleasures? Like Cheetos or
My guilty pleasure is a diner bacon cheeseburger and a side of buffalo wings. Like that is like my if I don't have any food at home, or if I'm just like I just love a good old greasy spoon burger. It doesn't have to be fancy. I don't like a fancy burger. I just want like good old frozen patty that's been burnt on a skillet and like
American
bacon.
cheese.
Yeah, I don't want anything swanky on it.
Yeah, I love that.
And a milkshake and French fries.
And the wings?
Yeah.
Good thing you're dancing up a storm every 8 times a week. Speaking of, there is a lot of movement in this show, a lot of choreography. Having not been trained in musical theater, was it hard to adopt the choreography that comes along with Hamilton?
Yes, dancing is not my forte.
You're not a dancer, you're a mover?
Yeah, no, definitely not.
You do a pretty darn good job.
Thank you, but it took a lot of panicked rehearsals for me to figure this out. Just like left foot, right foot, not my strong point.
Well, you've learned it very well, very convincingly.
Oh, thank you.
And Andy Blankenbuehler's choreography is no joke.
Yes, not at all. I mean, oh my gosh, what some of those ensemble dancers are doing is just unreal.
There is not a weak link in this cast. And I saw the tour cast as well, and there's not a weak link there.
Yeah.
Hamilton's going to be in 20 cities next year. So if you don't have tickets here in New York, hopefully you can get the tickets somewhere there. So I think we're just about ready to move over to the cooking demo. Yes. I'm going to try to hold both mics while you prepare the food. We're going to play it by ear, figure it out as we go.
All right, let's see what your mic skills are.
My mic skills?
Yeah.
I guess we're going to find out.
Okay,
and then we're going to take a couple of questions from the audience and then maybe taste the food.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right, excellent. Okay, can you do it?
Dun, 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 dun. That's the beginning of him.
Oh, look at this. Oh, look at these. Oh, this is very fancy. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, we have a beautiful layout here.
This is swanky.
What are we looking at?
Okay, so basically this is just like a little amuse-bouche. It's something we're gonna eat. It is blue cheese. This is a pear that is poached in a dessert wine with some honey and some cinnamon and some autumnal things, and then some things that are gonna go on top of it. There's some tarragon leaves. There's some hazelnuts that have been toasted. So basically, this is the fancy version of doing this thing, but you could do it just easily with like a piece of bread, some blue cheese, some pear and some honey, and then something on top of it.
You poached these pears at home?
I poached these pears this morning while I was making hot sauce with my 9-year-old. We made some like homemade hot sauce.
Are you sure you didn't put the hot sauce in there?
I don't think I did, but
I guess
again, it was a Simpsons marathon that I was watching, so maybe I was distracted.
How do you poach a pear? Is it easy?
Poach a pear. You get any kind of liquid. This is a
hot sauce.
Mostly hot sauce. So you get like this is a dessert wine, some honey, and then some like whole spices that I had. So I had like some cinnamon, I had some nutmeg, I had some things. You just like poach it, and then you reduce that liquid so it gets sort of nice and thick. If you don't drink, you could just do it in tea. You could poach it in just water, like sweetened water. You could do it in other things, but you're just sort of like low heat, not even really, barely a simmer until the pears are like nice and soft, and they look really delicious. Look at that. That looks good. I made that.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, I want to just take one of these flat spoony things and.
All right, I'm gonna give this to you and I'm gonna start making these.
Okay.
So now this is a little whipper, right? So this is like, like you get like they make like whipped cream, like sundaes kind of thing. You can do that for sweet things, but you can also do it with like savory things. So in here is like blue cheese, heavy cream, olive oil, salt, pepper.
That's
happiness.
the stuff my dreams are made of. Did you say abacus?
No, I didn't. I said happiness.
Happiness. Got it.
There's one abacus in here.
I was like, is that a spice I've never heard of? Okay.
Math for flavor. Okay. So let's see if I can actually get this done here. Oh, good. It looks better than I thought it was going to look.
It does look good. I've been known to say that if it was legal in the state of New York, I might marry a block of blue cheese.
We'll see. Yeah, it'll be legal in Massachusetts any day now. Okay. Ooh, look at that. That looks good.
So you've just foamed some blue cheese onto these flat spoons.
Yeah, on these flat spoons. That was chilled and like charged. Okay, and then we're gonna add let's add some of these pears. Your microphone skills are very good, I gotta say.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm sort of making it up as I go along, but we're doing okay.
Oh yeah, we're making everything.
So you're using a fork. Is that to keep the poaching liquid from sort of...
Yeah, I don't want too much of the poaching liquid, though you could use it if you want.
Maybe if you were using a traditional spoon as opposed to these flat spoons.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's like really sort of like dealer's choice. And then also the thing that happens with like fun flavors, there's also like textures, right? So we got this like poached thing, we got this airy blue cheese thing, we have these toasted hazelnuts that we're gonna have on there.
Did you toast them yourself?
I sure did.
You just put them in what, a cast iron?
Yeah,
pan?
like a dry skillet. Actually, these were all done in a cookie sheet in the oven. And then so you toast them and then you like sort of whack them with a hammer.
I would not have expected tarragon on this dish.
Yes.
I guess I don't associate tarragon with a desserty kind of thing, and I feel like this is kind of a desserty kind of thing.
Yeah, well, tarragon, because we're pushing between like dessert and a savory, tarragon is a nice thing because tarragon has sort of like a touch of like star anise or licorice flavor in it, so it's just kind of nice to have that with this thing that has like the sweetness of the poached pear, but also the sort of like funkiness of this blue cheese.
So you're doing this kind of thing backstage in your dressing room for your castmates on a regular basis?
Every once in a while we do some cocktail parties in my dressing room.
Yeah, you have a bunch of cocktails on your Instagram that you're asking people to name for you, which I think is kind of neat.
That's always fun. A gentleman gave me some Fort Hamilton rye whiskey that was really good, so I think we were trying to name a cocktail out of that. I think there was one cocktail I made called Room Where It Happens.
Of course there was.
But I don't remember what was in it, so I have to like do it again. Okay, so we got our little tarragon, a little bite of tarragon. So it's not just, it's like there's flavors that we're enjoying, but there's also like, again, textures. So there's like a little salt, the hazelnut, the fresh herb, like that's all fun stuff to enjoy.
And is that pepper?
Yeah, salt and pepper.
Got it. I didn't know what that thing was. I thought maybe it was like a cinnamon, like a cinnamon grinder or something. I don't know if you.
Cinnamon. Okay. I'm gonna hold this.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
I'm done now.
Okay.
Do you like blue cheese, right?
I love it.
But you can only just have one of these.
That's okay.
Okay.
How much more is in there?
Oh,
I want to take the leftovers.
Actually, a lot more. We can make a lot more.
We can do like that the thing that they do with whipped cream. Okay, I'm gonna try it. So it's
one bite.
All right, here we go.
Enjoy.
Amuse-bouche. My bouche is about to be amused.
Watch her spit this out.
Oh, it's so good.
Sweet.
First, I was kind of hit with the salt because that was on top.
Yeah.
And then this very sweet, juicy pear, and then the blue cheese, which is my absolute favorite.
Excellent.
Just tied it all together, and now I'm getting the hazelnut.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
All right, it worked.
Oh yeah, it's delicious. It's so good. Do you want to have one?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, why don't you have one? Tell me if it's everything you wanted it to be.
Yeah, that's good. Who made this?
Did you come up with this?
Yeah.
Have you?
I came up with this, but these are some of these are sort of like we know that like nuts are good with fruit, and we know that like funky cheese is good with fruit. Like we know that these things sort of live together naturally in the palate. If you don't like blue cheese, you could do like goat cheese, you know, or you could do blood oranges instead of, you could poach other things. So it's just really about like a fruit, a cheese, a nut, and an herb. Those are those things all are really like fun.
It makes me want to get like a wheel, a beach and just spin them.
Just see what it is. It's like
a whole new definition for a wheel of
and
cheese.
goat cheese.
Yeah. Let's take a couple of questions from the audience, and then maybe we'll pick some lucky people to come up and
I see a lot of them right
here. We've got 6 left.
Hi, how are you?
Hey there.
I was wondering, was there any favorite recipes you had growing up that you maybe took from your family and now cook yourself now?
I think there was like stuffing. I remember as a kid was like very like all around my world. And it was the stuffing that my mom would make was a spicy sausage and crab meat stuffing, and I feel like I've inherited that in like most. It used to be just like a tray of the stuffing, or it would be like in the bird for Thanksgiving. But since then, I have sort of moved that on to like stuffing shrimp with that same kind of stuffing, or what I love to do around the holidays are these baby pumpkins. Those are a lot of fun. Yeah, so that's my childhood food. Awesome. We ate a lot in my childhood. Oh my gosh, we ate quite a bit.
Who else has a question?
Hi. I know that you're busy with Hamilton, but is there like any other musical or play that you want to be a part of?
Ooh. I mean, I'm very happy on the Hamilton train, but I do, I would love to like dive back into some Shakespeare. I feel like I have a Hamlet tugging at me somewhere in my body. So one day, if somebody wants to produce that on Broadway, go right ahead.
Consider yourselves warned that he's looking for that.
Yeah.
Hamilton is running on Broadway right now. I would say go get tickets, but it's a hard ticket to get.
Yes.
What I will say is that there is a great Hamilton app where you can enter the lottery for $10 tickets every day for every performance. And there are performances happening now in California. And is LA still running?
Yes, it's in LA, it's here, it's in Chicago, it's in London.
Right, it just opened in London.
And the next tour is in rehearsal right now, starting in Seattle, I believe.
I think there are going to be a couple of tours simultaneously running.
Yeah.
Plus, it was just announced that Lin-Manuel Miranda is going to be returning to the role for a few weeks in 2019 in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
And I think that may be the hottest ticket in the world when the time comes.
That'll be something, yeah.
Daniel, it's been so nice to talk about such a range of your passions today.
Oh, thank you so much.
I definitely want to get that Hamilton food pun
let's get that
hashtag
going.
running. I'm going to give it some thought for a good pun, and we'll get people contributing. And maybe you can make some of the recipes, put them on your Instagram.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
It was such a
This
treat.
was great. Thanks, folks.
And we don't have enough for everybody, but if a couple people, especially those who ask questions, want to come up and try the poached pear with blue cheese.
We have enough for everybody. Yeah, we can look at all these spoons. We'll make some more.
All right, great.
Yeah,
We'll make some more. Come on up, guys. Thank you so much for being here, Daniel.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot.